Hey everybody, Don with Brazier Toneworks, and today I've got a hybrid video for you. It's based off of two other videos that I've done, one being the 7-way Strat switch, and the other being the dual capacitor mod. And taking a walk down memory lane, you'll remember the 7-way switch mod actually gives us two additional pickup configurations, a bridge and neck together, and all three. And the dual capacitor mod allows us to have the neck and middle individually tone controlled with one pot and the bridge with another, each having their own capacitor. And so this video is going to show you how to do both mods on the same Strat. The components are identical to what we used on the 7-way switch mod. You've got your 3 pickups, 3 pots, 2 capacitors, output jack, 5-way switch, and then a toggle switch or push button. I'm showing a push button here with the 6 pins. Can definitely use a toggle switch with 3 if that's what you'd like to use. Now I'd like to briefly go over the pot and switch labeling conventions that I use. Again, these are just mine. Other people use different things, so keep that in mind. When we're talking about the pot, I go left to right, L1, L2, L3. L2 is the center, L1 and L3 obviously left and right, and if you invert the pot, they kind of change positions in a sense, so look for that. On the switch, left side is the A, right side is the B. So we have A, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right side is B, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the push button switch, I just need to worry about A1 and A2 on the left-hand side. It's the top and the center lugs. Okay, we're going to break this down, go step by step. And as always, we start with grounding. So ground the top of each pot to a central point. I always use the top of the volume pot and then from there run to the ground wire for the bridge. And remember that on the volume pot, lug number 3 does need to be grounded, so either use a jumper wire from the lug to the top of the pot or just bend it back. Okay, next is output wiring. As you can see, I've kind of removed a couple of the other wires to keep things a little bit cleaner here. We're going to take the ground wire from the top of the volume pot and go to the ring portion of the jack. And then we're going to take lug number 2 from the volume pot and go to the tip portion of the jack. Now we move on to capacitor wiring. This is the same wiring for both of the tone pots. It doesn't matter which one you're working on. We are going from lug number 3 to ground. So you're going to take the capacitor one end, ground it to the top of the pot, the other to lug number 3 of each of the corresponding tone pots. Now we can move on to switch wiring. I removed again some of the cables to make things cleaner for you. We start out by taking a jumper from B3 to B4 on our 5-way switch. Then we go from A4 up to B1. Now, shown here in green, you can see a wire going from B4 to the center lug of the first tone pot, so lug number 2. The brown cable is going from A1 to A1. So it's A1 of the 5-way to A1 of your push button or toggle switch. The last piece, shown here in green again, is to go from B4 to A2 of the push button. Now we can move on to pots and wiring those up. Shown here in blue, we're going to go from B2 to the center lug of the bottom tone control. So lug number 2 of the bottom tone to B2. Then our basic output is going to be B1 to lug number 1 of our volume pot, shown here in white. And now you should have a completed wiring scheme for the basic components, your 5-way switch, your push button or toggle switch, your 3 pots, your capacitors, your ground, and your jack. From here, we're going to start moving on to actually wiring up the pickups. I put all of the wires back so it kind of resembles what you're looking at. We start out by taking all of the black wires for the pickups and grounding those to the top of the volume pot. Looking at our bridge pickup, we take the red wire, or whichever kind of wire you happen to have, going to lug number A1 of the 5-way switch. Shown here in white, we're going from the middle pickup to lug number A2 of our 5-way switch. And here in yellow, we're going from the neck pickup to A3 of our 5-way switch. At this point, we're done. You've got a Stratocaster with a 5-way switch that, in conjunction with the push button or toggle, will give you 2 extra pickup configurations, your neck and your bridge together, or all 3. And with the capacitors wired the way they do, you are breaking the neck in the middle into one segment and the bridge into a second. So the neck in the middle will be controlled by tone number 1, and the bridge will be controlled by tone number 2. You have the option of putting independent type of capacitors, whichever value you want, therefore controlling that tone the way you would like to have it. I'm not going to go over the different configurations so you can see the switch and stuff. You can actually do that on one of my other videos. But if you do want to hear how this sounds, if you go back out to my library, you can see the kind of the Sunburst Stratocaster, the Chevalier pickups. This actually has this entire setup in here, the 2-way dual cap mod, as well as the 7-way switch mod. So again, if you really want to hear how this sounds, go out there, take a listen. I hope you enjoy it. Otherwise, again, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, tone. It's not just a knob, it's sound advice.